Hey everybody, so I got my Worm Factory 360 today and I just wanted to show you how I was going to set it up as per the instructions that were sent to me with the Worm Factory. So what it comes with is the lid, the worm ladder included. The people that sent it to me sent me a little screen to help block the castings from falling through the drip. Also comes with some shredded paper, which I have a whole bunch of behind me. Some pumice, some coir, a little scraper, and as well as a little rake and a DVD. And a thermometer, I believe. Yes, a thermometer. It also shows you on there the perfect temperatures for the worms. Too cold, too hot, perfect, and far, far too hot. What I'm going to be doing today, anyway, is showing you how I'm going to set this up, and that I'm going to add my already existing worm bin into it, and probably start some other types of worms as well. Okay, as per the instructions, I'm going to quickly run and grab some duct tape. I will be right back and I will show you the way that I was told to set it up. Okay. Okay, hello again. So I didn't have any duct tape, but I do have packing tape. So I'm going to tape this screen down with that. And then I can always replace it later with some duct tape just to hold it in place. Bend the little screen that they sent with it. Tape it just there, right into place. Bend it a little nicer, and there we go. Okay, their next instructions to help me with my Worm Factory 360 setup is just to fill the bottom tray with some newsprint. Put your worm ladder in, because ideally there should not be very much leachate at all coming through here. So fill up, just in case the worms come through and then they don't have any bedding to be in, which isn't very good for them. And I know that I'm using some colored printing paper as well. It's all newsprint nonetheless. Get a lot since I live in the city delivered to my house. Okay, so there we go. And then our first tray goes on. And I did get 6 with my purchase because I bought a few extra trays, as I intend to make quite a bit out of this thing. So I put that on, and then in the directions it also says to line the bottom with one layer of newsprint. Just because when you're transferring the worms they might get a little startled, and I have some water right here that's been sitting next to outside for quite some time. I just moisten it down and lay that in my bin. And then I take my other sheet, because this is small newsprint. And just overlap it a touch here. I hope you can hear me though, I'm outside and it's a little loud from the road behind me. And then I lay this piece in here as well. Normally you would mix the coir with some water, some newsprint for bedding, and they give you some pumice as well. to add in, so I'm going to add that into my already composting bin. And it's quite full of newsprint and whatnot, so I shouldn't need to add any more from my large bag here. And I just added food last night since I wasn't sure that this was coming today, so. Just take them out now handful by handful and put them in their new bed. Already got quite a few food scraps in here. There's quite a bit, so I'm not sure if I'll need to add a second tray. Quite a few worms as well. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I will show you a little closer up. I do have quite a few worms in there already. Seem to be doing quite well, and some are already at the stage where they could be reproducing and making me some more worms, which would be quite nice. And this is Quar newsprint, as well as some coffee filters and whatnot. Some of the food scraps. And I am doing this outside, but it's a pretty cloudy day, so it's not going to bother the worms quite as much as if it was really bright and sunny. So basically, all you got to do is fill up the first tray. Make sure that your material is fairly wet as well. Not wet, but damp like a wrung-out sponge. So there we go. I'm getting up there, that's for sure. Sorry this is taking so long, I didn't quite think it would. One mistake I made with this bed here is it has some grooves in it that actually hold in the worms, which wasn't my initial goal. It did help to separate the really wet, really very wet compost from the not so wet compost, which is kind of nice. But now that I have this worm bin, which will be sitting next to my fridge, it will be great. what I intend to do is give you some updates on how quick it actually composts. As you can clearly tell, there's quite a bit of food in here for them as well, so I don't have to add any food for them. But I will definitely be updating you on a regular basis to let you know how this is doing for me. This particular model anyway, and once I get a few more models, which I intend to do shortly, I will let you know how those ones do for me and show you the progress on a weekly basis so that you can see for yourself. Because let's be honest, it's always nice to read about how something works, but to see it firsthand is a lot better, so... I've pretty much gotten it all out, just about anyway. Maybe just a little bit more. But it is nearly impossible to get it all out, as it's quite damp from being in my Rubbermaid container. Now I add this paper back. Make sure it's fluffed up though. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a second tray to hold the rest of the paper. Since I didn't really think about that, maybe what I'll do is I'll transfer some of this food into another bin, possibly. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Transfer this into another bin to set on top. Don't really care to do this to my arms, but... So you make sure that it's nice and light and fluffy. Make sure it's all inside the bin, because the last thing you need is for it to be out of the bin. Add your second tray on top. And the rest of your paper. And that right there is my completed worm bin. This right here is the Worm Factory 360. If you'd like to know where I got it and got the screen, by all means ask and I will let you know. So this is the way I set it up, and hopefully you as well will have as much luck. I was also told to leave the spigot, which is on this side, open to help provide extra airflow. So I will do that. Just leave that open there. Then I can take my trusty little tray they sent me, slide it underneath, and let it collect any liquid that does fall through. And like I said, I will keep you updated. I will let you see the updates. Oh yes, I forgot to add some pumice. So I will add a little bit of pumice here to both trays, of course. A small little handful to this one here. A little bit larger handful to this one here. They say to add, I believe the directions say about a cup, no, a half cup per tray. But my compost with my coir in there is actually quite dry, so I don't need to add that much, I wouldn't think. If I do, I will add a little bit more shortly. But that is how I set up my worm tray. Worm Factory 360. Hopefully, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask and I will try to help out as much as I can. Hopefully this was of interest to you, and please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.